What's going on, everybody? This is Jace, and now you're listening to the Mind of Felamin. And now we're talking about how religion is trying to delete your individuality. You see, it's much easier for somebody to control you if you, as an individual, don't exist. If there's a void within you. Because whenever there's a void within you, we go use external resources to fill the void within us. So we look at things like drugs, excessive drugs. You're not feeling anything within you, so relying on an external substance to rely, drug yourself. Because you're always drugging yourself. Here's the thing. Here's what you really gotta understand. When you go to church, when you go to the mosque, what are you doing? You're basically drugging yourself. You're basically a drug addict. You don't know. You don't know. Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, they're all just hope drug dealers. Real shit. They're all drug dealers. They're all trying to sell you on hope. What nobody sold you on was yourself. You haven't bought the idea that you can be something, or you can create something, or that you can be somebody. All those guys are basically feeding from your attention, right? So Muhammad fed from your attention. You're giving Allah your attention. This is what life is all about. What do you pay attention to? Because whatever you pay attention to, that's what you're going to bring about. Because remember, you're a spiritual psychic being. You're always paying attention to something in your mind. You're always seeing an image. You're always seeing a feeling, a thought. Something is wrestling within you. And you're going to see the world through that perspective. And when you take a drug called religion, you delete your individuality because you're attempting to override your original cosmic astrological instructions that were downloaded within you when you were born with something that came from another man through his experiences, through his thoughts, through his feelings, progressed through the ages, progressed through time, the thing that they accumulated. And often people are not like even accumulating the right substance, the right energy, because all they're doing is just getting that thing from the outside. They're not, even the Bible tells you, I don't even like using the Bible because most Christians make it look stupid, but it is a good book. The Bible tells you that you will have internal waters within you. It talks about the internal waters. You're supposed to nourish yourself within. You're supposed to learn how to be an independent spirit. When you worship something, when you bow down to something, you're being a dependent spirit. You're depending on an external source of energy, while you're really here to learn how to master yourself and how to create energy. Because you got to remember, it's basically soul force. You're not the energy. You're not the force. You're the thing that's creating the force. So you're not the energy itself. You're not happiness. You're not sadness. You're not death. You're not life. You're the space that's experiencing that energy. Like you're just the orb, and the energies within just making you experience shit. So when you're a religious person, all they try to do is delete your individuality. And a lot of people battle with expressing their individuality. A lot of people try to figure out different filters, they run different operational variables in their mind as if to how they can find a loophole around the religion and express themselves and be themselves. And it's like, what do you think? You're basically telling your God that your God is stupid. Like I have, let's say, Muslim friends, for example, that would just do things that's against the religion, right? So they would be with females and doing things, other things of that nature that you would normally see in the Western world that they're not really supposed to do. But then they would go ahead and use that Muslim title and attribute it to themselves. Like, you see what I mean? You're having a mental blood clot. You're saying that this external doctrine is coming to you and telling you, be this, and you believe it and you want to be that, but yet you have a different internal demonstration, you have a different vision, you have a different image in your mind, and you're playing out something completely different. So you're not even carrying out the doctrine in the first place. So what are you even doing in that religion? What are you even doing? Why are you trying to put rocks and build like a barracks on the river that's flowing, and the river being you, and the water being your thoughts and feelings? You're basically now, I'm not saying you should discipline and refine your flow. That's what you should do, but you shouldn't be trying to silence and kill it. That's what religion is low-key trying to do. Religion is trying to kill your individuality. Religion is trying to kill your individuality. And in a weird way, for us to create a system that's like everyone has to be under rules and laws, basically, right? Because somebody's creating these rules and laws. But here's the thing, even the people that created those rules and laws aren't even really following it themselves. So Muhammad has commanded the killing of people, of, let's say, rival prophets in the area, because You got to look at it. They're dope dealers. If there's a dope dealer on your block and they're selling the hope, which is your product, why would you go let that dope dealer live on your block? Why would you let that guy live? You're obviously going to kill him. So we have somebody who's here who's creating, and this is in the poems. You'll find them. You'll find Muhammad killing people. Muslims, please stop lying to yourself. Real shit. Muhammad commanded the killing of poets that were speaking against him and things of that nature. Please stop lying to yourself. Please stop lying. Stop creating a false image of somebody who didn't do the things that he spoke of. Seriously, you're killing yourself. You're murdering yourselves like that. Real shit. Not in the, in this life and maybe the next. Who knows? So you gotta remember, just be yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, okay, so take this in, right? So let's say even with the Christian church, even the pastors, right? That's where you get the most amount of child rape. You get a lot of child rape in the Catholic Church, in the church. Christians, let's not lie about this. Let's all be very honest here. All these religions try to usurp you and do something negative on the side. I was just listening to this black girl, and she was talking about how she got molested in the church. Think about it. This stuff has happened in your church. My friend even had, he lost his virginity in the church. So, like, real shit. So, like, you gotta remember, you gotta remember that all your religions are just going opposing the doctrine anyway. You guys are not even following it. Like, what are you guys doing? And here's the thing. Then next people are gonna use the argument of like, you just need to follow the religion individually. Well, you're just demonstrating to everybody that the doctrine that you've been practicing has failed to create the demonstration that you're talking about in your scripture. And that's why no one can take you seriously. That's why no one really believes you. Like, come on now. So stop trying to delete your individuality. Express yourself. Understand that you are here on earth to express yourself. You are here trying to express a nature. You are here trying to overcome something. Because there's always going to be an opposing cage. And basically, all we're talking about here is energy, okay? When religions talk about the devils, when they talk about the demons, when they talk about the shayateen, all they're talking about here is just energy. They're talking about flows that happen during certain times of the year, during certain times of the season, through astrology, and like certain gates of the heavens open up, and they allow a certain flow for you to experience something, for you to overcome that. Now you call that the devil, but esoteric people who understand hidden natures call that Saturn. They call that the challenge. They call that what you have to overcome. They call that the blocks within your chakra and things of that nature. That's what you really have to do. That's what you really have to understand. Like, all these prophets, they're not special. All they did was just pay attention. They paid so much attention that they saw that the devil was in the details, right? That's what the Egyptians was talking about. So I got the Eye of Horus right here. All the Lord is trying to say is just pay attention, because the devil is always in the details, because your friend, your dad, your mom, your best friend might stab you in the back tomorrow, and you might not know that. You might not notice that because the devil is in the details. But guess what? A spiritual person who understands the hidden natures of things would have seen that coming. So that's what you need to understand. That's why, like, you're getting caught in so many traps right now in your life, and when you just go and pray to Jesus, when you just go to pray to Allah, you think that you're talking to something, but really you're just communicating with your subconscious. You're communicating with yourself. You're communicating with the hidden, unseen forces within you. And they're producing those resources, because that's all it means to be intuitive. That's all it means to be is intuitive nature, is to communicate with the hidden and to have instructions from within, not to have instructions from without. You got to remember, your religion is trying to take you outside of yourself. Why would you want to do that? All you have to go is be within yourself. That's something every religious person, theologian, can agree with. That all power is within. Miyamoto Musashi said this, famous samurai. He said that everything exists within. Seek nothing outside of the self. And that's true, because you have this internal space, this infinite universe within you. And someone taught you that this space within you is limited by thought. Someone taught you that. Someone had to teach you that. But you don't know that the space within you is internal. Like, tell me. Like, yo, you are, like, do you dream outside of yourself, or do you dream when you go inside of yourself, when you're asleep, when you're dead on the floor? When you're sleeping, when you're dead on the floor, you experience something else within yourself. But when you're inside an internal world, yeah, you are having an external experience, but the internal experience is always a greater demonstration. It can be felt a lot, and by feeling it within, that's how you attract things that are outside. So stop praying. Stop going to the mosque. Stop going to the church. You don't need that. You can, things like Jesus is just meant to be a symbol of what you're supposed to become. Even the Bible tells you that you will do greater things than Jesus. He says that. He says you will do greater things than himself. Now people argue. People say, oh, translations corrupted, blah, blah, blah. But I really believe Jesus tried to like, elevate people to his like vibration, elevate people to his frequency, to his level of vibe. I don't believe he tried to, dump people down. He's trying to bring people up. But people, the things that he was one of those guys that are way ahead of his time, right? He was one of those guys that are way ahead of his time, and he was heavily misunderstood because he said that I am the son of God. He basically said that I am God. That's what he's saying. I am. You're basically God. God has a lot of ideas. You're an idea of God. And that's all there is to it. It's so simple, but you're just listening to somebody else instead of listening to yourself. Like, if you just listen to your internal waters, your internal demonstration, your internal revelation, rather than your external demonstration, aka holy books, the Bible, Quran, Torah, things of that nature. Now, those could point to things that will lead to your spiritual evolution, that will lead to your spiritual awakening. But you have to understand that you're doing all this yourself. You can get an external stimulation, but that's the point of all what I'm saying. The point is to get an internal stimulation rather than an external stimulation, because that shit doesn't last. You can't, that friend that's with you all the time, that's making you feel good, that boyfriend, that girlfriend, it's not enough. It's gonna disappear one day. It's not gonna be there. It's not gonna be as great, because we always try to innovate great things. We always try to get better and better and better in terms of technology and clothing and houses and cars and things of that nature. So we're always looking for something better, not realizing that all we need was just within. So this is Elamin. If you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think. Was the information helpful? And yeah, take care, family.